if this person has done this thing to me, if this friend of mine has been mean to me, I know that has nothing to do with me. And whatever it is from their perspective that's made them do that and made them act like that, that's on them and that's their personal issue, and that has nothing to do with me. I think perspective is such a delicate and beautiful thing, because no matter how hard we try, no matter how much we want to, we're never going to be able to step into someone else's shoes or see things from their perspective. No matter how hard we want to try or we want to understand somebody's perspective and somebody's experience, we're never going to be able to be them, and we're never going to be able to see things how they see things. And I think this is such a prevalent issue in literally every single relationship that you have in your life. Like, you're never going to be able to understand somebody fully, so how are you going to be able to be with that person if you can't listen to them and they can't listen to you? And of course we can say, take a step back and see things from a wider perspective, and of course we'll try and do that, but I don't think people realise how hard it is when somebody doesn't do that for you. Like, when you step out of your shoes and you go, okay, how could I have handled this differently? What are they feeling right now? How are they right now? But they don't do that for you, and they're only coming at you and they're not seeing things from your perspective and they're not even trying. I feel like that is the hardest thing, because you're like, how come I have to do this but you don't have to? Like, how come I have to put myself out there and see things from a different light and you don't have to? Like, it's not fair, you know? But for me, that's kind of telling of who you are as a person. Like, if you can't step out of your rose-coloured glasses and see things from someone else's perspective and go, okay, I should have handled this differently, or maybe I should have done this in a different way, or I shouldn't have done that, or I should have done this. Like, if you can't see that, then you're not really, like, using your critical thinking skills, you know? You're not really engaging in a relationship, and in that sense, you can't really have a relationship, because if all you're ever going to do is see things from your own point of view, how can you be in a relationship with someone else when you're literally just sending them mixed signals and they're sending you mixed signals and you're not trying to communicate and work that out? I don't really know how you can be in a relationship. Like, for me, I feel like I've always wanted to know why people do what they do and why people do things to you that are so, like, out of pocket, like, so not deserved. Like, why has this person cheated on me? Why has this person done this thing to me? Like, I didn't deserve that, I don't think, or maybe I did. Maybe I did something wrong. But I think you have to realise at some point in your life, like, we are such selfish beings. Like, inherently we are selfish. Like, that's how we have been grown to be. Like, that's our survival instincts, you know? Be selfish, eat, take care of your family, like, do the things you need to do as a human being to survive. And so that's just fed into everything. And now that the world is just so different than what it used to be, we still have those survival instincts of, okay, I need to take care of myself. So somebody's always going to go, okay, what do I think and how do I feel? That must be what it is, because I am seeing things from my point of view, because this is my world. Like, in everybody's world, they're the centre of it. Like, in my world, I'm the centre of my world, you know? But in yours, I'm clearly not. So I think it's important to realise that we've moved on from that, and to actually grow as, like, a human race, or, like, to grow as people, we need to try and expand our thinking, and we need to try and change the way that we think, because there's no way you can get through life if you're only ever looking at things from your perspective. Like, how boring is that anyway? Like, never thinking, oh, I didn't know that. Like, I didn't know that about that person. A good example of this is this week I've been watching The Summer I Turned Pretty. I mean, who hasn't? Like, obviously, come on. And we're all sat there and we're all looking at the screen and we're screaming at Belly, and we're like, Belly, hello, why are you with Jeremiah when you can be with Conrad? Look at this guy, he's amazing, he's doing all these things for you, he's such a great guy, like, this is the guy for you. Like, he's literally a doctor, what do you mean? And this other guy, he's like horrible to you, cheating on you and all these things, and he's like gaslighting you, and he wants the chocolate mirror glaze cake, like, all of these things. But you have to realise, from her perspective, that's not how she sees it. Like, she hasn't seen all these things of Conrad because she's been blocking it out and she's been with someone else. And us as the audience, we're like, why is everybody shouting at Conrad? We love Conrad, he's the best one in this show. But realistically, they haven't seen him and they're not that close with him anymore. So just because we're seeing one side of the story and we're seeing the side of this romantic guy doesn't mean that's what he's portraying. And up until this recent episode, I'm not going to spoil anything, but it's amazing. Up until this recent episode, he didn't even communicate his feelings. He didn't communicate it. And I think that is a problem with a lot of people, especially in relationships, is they assume the other person can just read their mind and, like, know what they're thinking. And every single day you have something like 20 or 30,000 thoughts. Like, sorry, but that's actually insane. That's so many thoughts, and most of those thoughts are just ones that you aren't even trying to think. They just pop up in your brain and you're not even trying. And so how can you assume that somebody in a relationship knows every single one of those 30,000 thoughts that you think every single day if you don't communicate it. If all you ever say to somebody every single day is, oh, how are you? I'm good. Yeah, I'm feeling good. I'm alright. Yeah, let's just go and do this thing and let's go and distract ourselves from how I'm actually feeling. If you do that, you're not going to have a sustained relationship, because when you run into problems, you're not going to know how to deal with it, and you're not going to know how to talk about your feelings and go, okay, that really hurt me and it's because A, B, C, and this is what we need to do to fix it. And then on the other side of that spectrum is you're not going to be able to see when someone else comes to you and says, hey, this thing you did is really wrong. All you're going to think is, okay, they're attacking me. But that's not true. I really think that XR by Taylor Swift and Bon Iver is one of the best songs I've ever heard, just because of the way that, even though they're not in the same room and they recorded that song on literally complete opposite sides of the country, they have managed to perfectly showcase perspective in a relationship. Like, he's saying to her, like, you didn't give me any signs that this was happening. You didn't give me any signs that anything was wrong. And she's like, I gave you so many signs. So many signs. And like, they're not specifically speaking to each other. They're just like speaking to the universe or whatever that is. Maybe their journal or whatever it is. But it just goes to show communication is everything, and it can completely change your perspective if you're willing and open to be a part of that. But the only way you can see something from somebody else's perspective or understand why something has happened or why someone has done something is to be open to perspective and to be open to their perspective. Like, if you're only ever going to think, no, do you know what, I didn't do anything wrong, maybe that is the case. Yeah, maybe you're right and you didn't do anything wrong, okay, but you can still look at it from their perspective. Truthfully, I feel like the best way to get around this whole dilemma of worrying that other people are gonna not see your perspective and not put in the effort to try that, which is listen to XR if that's your situation. That's literally the perfect song for you. The best way to get around that is to just really know yourself as a person, to be honest. Like, do journaling, like, talk to yourself, be that person that is like there for yourself and don't rely on other people, because I feel like if all you're doing is relying on other people to bring you up, then you're never going to see things from your own perspective, because you're always going to be validated by other people. You're always going to be with your friend going, he did this, and they're going to go, oh my god, you're so right, he's so wrong for that. And like, maybe he is, but like, they're going to agree with you because they can only see one side of the story. Another example of The Summer I Turned Pretty, Taylor, like Jeremiah, because all she's ever heard is the bad things about Conrad, but she hasn't seen our perspective of it. So she doesn't know he's not a good guy and Conrad is a good guy. But that's because she doesn't have our perspective. So I think that's a great example of just, you need to be by yourself. Like, you need to do the self-work and you need to talk to yourself and you need to realise, okay, if this person has done this thing to me, if this friend of mine has been mean to me, I know that has nothing to do with me. And whatever it is from their perspective that's made them do that and made them act like that, that's on them and that's their personal issue, and that has nothing to do with me. And that honestly will make you feel better in life, because when you truly get to know yourself, you'll be like, do you know what, I'm actually a great person, and if I do something wrong, I own up to it and I say, hey, I was wrong for that and I'm sorry, I shouldn't have acted like that. And that's all you can really do. Like, we're imperfect people. Like, humans aren't perfect, you know, we're not perfect, we're never gonna be. Maybe you are, I don't know, I'm not. But I just think, put in the effort to know yourself, put in the effort to understand yourself as a person, and then maybe other people will be open to understanding you too. And that's all you can do. And if they don't want to try and understand you, hey, they're not worth your time, because you're probably really interesting. I don't know if this means anything to anyone or if this is even going to do anything. I just need to talk to myself, and why not put my Canon Power Shot on and grab a mic and do it on here. So if you enjoyed this, then let me know, and please talk to me in the comments, and I'll see you for my next vlog. Bye.